definitely hope to be jumping in more. I've been seeing everybody's like cool stuff on Twitter and like, oh, Toxic. I see Toxic in the crowd. Toxic's been just killing it with so many cool, TikTok trends, and then Mary Shark with the face moons. So it's awesome to see everybody working, like putting that time in and effort.
I agree, Vanessa, and I'm actually pretty excited for that client too. I know a lot of people that went to the Argentina trip got to test that out. I definitely want to hear some, some updates on that whenever anyone from out there that went to Argentina got to tap into that. Let us know, how was it? Like, I'm excited to see this new client too.
Yeah, I mean, I see Cheddar in the crowd and KJ. It's a small space today, so sometimes if people feel uh, feel free to come up and chat, or anybody else if you have questions about it. Like, to me, the biggest takeaway from the client is, well, I don't know, the wind. I just can't get over the wind. But it's also the trees look different, and I really don't think you can, like, I don't know how well you can understand what it looks like just from the videos they showed, but what, like, a big part of it to me is that the bigger land size you have, the bigger elevation there is. So if you have a one piece parcel, it's still going to be like base, like sea level, right? Like base elevation. But if you have a parcel that's 50, if you have an estate that's like 50 parcels big, it's there's height to it. There's like, it's like hilly. So if anybody's at my land right now, the neighbor to my right is, I believe it's either the largest single piece estate or it's close to it. There might be somebody else. But when I ran through that on the new client, like there were hills. You could just disappear out of sight, which means like freaking hide and seek in Decentraland is going to be off the charts. Like there's also like a single parcel in that giant estate, or like there's a couple of them. If you went out and you got land on that, you could build and like be in a valley. Like it, it is amazing. Like to me, those are like the visual differences that I saw. And then there's like a lot of different like functional differences. Like you're not going to lag as much. The There's a lot that I didn't understand, but I think probably KJ would understand. Like the metallics in the texturing is going to be allowed, and so like I think that's what I understood, that you'll finally have the ability to have like a metallic texture. If you had like a knight armor, now you can actually have that textured like metallic. Whereas I think the really good designers, they can paint, they go in and they make it look like that. But I think it'll be supporting those textures, which means for builds too, they'll just be, it'll be, you'll be able to make way cooler stuff. Um, yeah, let's see. Oh, the two suns in the sky were amazing. I mean, to me that was a big deal. That was like, yeah, that was a personally a really cool one. Um, yeah, like I okay, so I have two kids, and when I got the tattoo of Decentraland on my wrist, like I didn't want to just get some brand's logo on my wrist. Like I had to mean more than that. And so the big sun stands for my daughter, and the little sun stands for my son. And so then like I don't know, like there's only one sun in the sky. So I told my son, I was like, I'm gonna get the sun in the sky for you. And that was the whole reason why I wrote that Dow proposal, to get two suns in the sky, was to get one up there for my son. And so I told Yamel that at like GDC. I was like, all right, like, I love your brand and everything, but this is a little deeper for me. Like I can't just go get a tattoo without it having like deeper meaning, as much as I love Decentraland. Um, so then in Argentina, as soon as I saw him, he looked at me. He was like, "I'm putting in a second son for you," and I'm just like, "Oh my god!" Like, or maybe he didn't say for me, but like, there's gonna be two sons, and to me, like that. That's like our branding. Like, why wouldn't we have two suns in the sky? Like, it's most video games, most people have like one sun, and the fact that we have two and it's on our logo, it just seems like why wouldn't we have it? So yeah, that's a cool new feature. Those are like the ones that stick out to me. And then I hear people mention other stuff, and I'm like, God, I forgot about that. Like I need all of the videos from the conference are on YouTube, so everybody can, you can. I highly suggest watching them. I'm gonna rewatch them because there's a kind of a confusing part where there's like a half an hour long like introduction where Yamal talked about all of the new stuff getting in. But then he talked at a later time, and Cheddar, KJ, maybe you guys would remember, but like he talked at a different time about the other things they want to put in. And so in my head, I'm like, okay, was this the stuff that is coming, or is this like the bucket list stuff? Because I feel like double jump, or like the different run cycles is coming, and then double jump, everybody like freaked out. They're like double jump, But I don't know if that's coming yet. And I know that like what is not coming in the client is swimming, gliding. Those are, if they're gonna be added, it's like a later date. So yeah, let's see. Any questions from that bio? Like I think those were like the big ones that stuck out to me.
I actually like the idea and concept of the two suns. I mean, I'm actually into astrology and what we have. Well, I'm so excited about connections between these digital experiences from our real life to the digital world. Sometimes the littlest details like that go a long way, at least for me. Just thinking about, life itself and what it could be. So I know I might have gone a little bit off there, but yeah, to me, it's pretty cool to see that two sun concept. The community, when we speak, sometimes I do understand that the founders and the foundations, they give us what we want. We are here to develop this platform itself overall. It's up to us. They're here to give us the tools, but it's up to us to take those tools and make use of it. So a lot of us here been doing just so. I just want to, give you guys that shout out as well. Again, met a DJ in the house. Hey, old guy. Here, let me pass the mic up. Hopefully they can come upstairs to the speakers panel. Come up, guys. Let's talk. Let's talk a little bit about DCL. Helping us out this morning.
Yeah, we're probably gonna have a shorter space, so yeah, feel free. Anybody that wants to come up, chit chat. We are out here, and it's good to see everybody here. Oh, there's something I was gonna say. I forgot what it was. But yeah, I mean, I think they definitely are listening. Like, um, they're definitely listening. I think some stuff just like is out of their control, or it is just not a priority at the moment. Like there were things that I was like once I get going, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys could put this in. You should put this. You should put this. And like the one thing that they kind of told me again and again, like Nico and Aga, they're like, our priority is the client. Like we have to get the client out before we do anything else. Like, yes, we could do that, but first we have to get a functioning client, because I think it's going to be, I mean, it's all eyes on Decentraland for this new client. If it doesn't work, it's going to be, I don't know. I guess we need to maybe like have the mental first aid kit out for all of us, that if we get in there and it's like still rave mode and stuff like that, like, whoa, that's going to be a that's going to be a rough one. And if anybody hasn't seen the sign up to get on that, or like you have to, it's a you have to sign up to get into the alpha like test group to try out the new client. Like if you don't sign up for it, it will not just work on your computer. It's like a closed test net for anybody that wants to join. So I mean, it's not that close. I think you can get in. I know on the Dow Discord they posted the link to it, and you still have time. As of yet, I haven't heard a date. It's just I know it, like it would be catastrophic if they put a date out there, because then all of a sudden they've got to make it by that. But I know they said like summer, like July, August. So I'm assuming August. I'm gonna like go for that and just yeah. But oh, it's amazing. Like I don't know if you guys have gone to that place in the University District of Decentraland. It's like one of the oldest builds, and it's got these beautiful like purple trees, but there's wind, like the branches are moving. Like what is it about me and the wind? I don't know. I don't get it, but like the wind, that is like that like that was magic. It really looks good having wind there.
Any thoughts on the game expo that's coming up? I know it's like right around the corner. Any feelings on that?
Oh man, I feel like so my approach on that, since I've been so busy and just like traveling so much and just knowing I don't have time, is like I haven't gone to try to see anything. I want to wait until the game expo, like till it officially opens, so that I can go and see everything at the first, the first time. But I am seeing on Twitter and on Instagram, they're making like little snippets, and I think it looks great. Like I've seen a couple of the games. I know KJ's got one in there. Like, I love it. I mean, it's those game mechanics. It just is so cool to see what somebody has done, and because then in my brain I'm like, okay, what could you use that for? Like how many different games could these create, like in Decentraland? So I like that there's different people that we haven't seen, that like new people I haven't really seen much in DCL that have submitted some entries to that. So I think it's gonna be solid. I'm waiting though. I've got like, and I'm my standards of games has definitely gone up exponentially this year. So I'm gonna be like, all right, how, like if I shoot this thing, am I gonna hit it? What's my accuracy, man? I need high accuracy. Have you checked any of them out in detail, Bio?
Yeah, actually, got to check out one or two of them. In fact, yesterday we were testing out the stream since we'll be the ones helping the Game Expo broadcast in world. We was testing out the Vita TV servers there, and I actually got to see some of those builds. And it was pretty exciting to see how they've created this like all-star world, and it's gonna be all hosted there. So I mean, I'm just pretty excited. Every year, Decentraland always puts a lot of effort to their foundational events, and this year is like no different than the other years, except that as the years progressed, our technology gets better, our community gets more wiser, gets more stronger. So this year, I'm just pretty excited to see how many people will jump in, specifically with all the crypto hype that's going on around our surroundings. Even though the crypto coins and all of that doesn't really affect our metaverse outlet, or the progress of it, but it's still part of the layers of our blockchain, right? So the ecosystem of the coins do somehow relate to the amount of people that understand the hype, or are aware of the hype. So yeah, this year I'm pretty excited. There's a lot of hype on crypto, a lot of new coins, a lot of new meme coins, a lot of new active users. And since a lot of spaces that I've been jumping into, specifically with the Pictures of New York, that I work with those guys now as an honorable holder, they've been throwing a lot of physical events, and a lot of their community has been speaking about Decentraland, mentioning a couple of community members' names that I know, and I'm just like, yeah, there we go. Let's try to onboard these people to these amazing events and this metaverse platform that we're all a part of. The awareness is what we're seeing today, and I think that is what I'm really excited about. Seeing how many new people we get, what are their first time expressions, and what are their feedbacks on the community itself. I mean, they do say, joke around, they say it's 38 of us here, which I don't believe, because I saw about 45, 50 at Rustan's party. So I think that 38 should be out, a non-existence no more. It should be an old school joke. So shout out to Rustan for doing what he did with the linked wearables, and everybody else who was affiliated with that as well. We had a very successful event yesterday. So shout out to Sinful, Canessa, and everybody else that's been doing their back end parts to get those linked wearables for the kid called Beast family. Very big win. Very big win, guys. Very big win right there.
Yeah, I mean, the whole crypto blockchain NFT space, it is so much different than it was like the last bull run. Like it's wild. Yesterday I was wearing a Nyan Cat like hoodie, and I went to a grocery store, and like the lady at the counter was like, "Oh, I love your shirt. Like I like that whatever cartoon." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I love them too." I was like, "They're a little bit out of, the NFTs are a little out of my price range." And she's like, "Well, NFTs they're an absolute waste of time, and they're a waste on the ecosystem. Like they're horrible for the environment." And I'm just like in my head, I'm like, "Okay, do I fight with the lady at grocery outlet today, or do I choose peace?" And I'm like, "Okay, but like she doesn't know." I was like, "Actually," I was like, "I love NFTs. I work with NFTs every day, and like highly active with a company that has NFTs that are just a part of our life." And she just kind of looked at me like, I'm guessing nobody challenges her. And if you think that like NFTs are a waste of energy because they're like built on the Bitcoin blockchain, like, wow, we have so much education. left to do. I mean, for it was just a wild experience to hear from somebody like telling me from her expert opinion versus like like the experience that we all have that the main that's like the mainstream view of NFTs is that they're bad for the environment and they're a waste of time. Like she might be right about the waste of time. Like not financial advice. Maybe I don't know. Maybe she's smarter than me in the long run, but um so I feel like it's when one of these projects can come through and be successful, like the beasts, and what everything that Make and Ruston did to get that through, like it makes it easier for the next project to do it or the next project. And we like yeah, we're all ambassadors for those for the everything for Decentraland, for our own personal NFT projects, and that's the way to push it forward. And I see Rustan came up and then met a DJ at Zuberant. So Rustan, speaking of NFTs, I can't I this is your best work yet. This
Good
is
morning. Good morning. Good
amazing.
morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
so
that
impressed.
like normie hate is just it's so annoying. I've actually been getting into debates with models I've been painting lately who are super anti AI, anything AI. So that's happening now too. There's the whole shift on Instagram where artists are leaving Instagram for this other app called Kara because they don't want their images scraped for AI. It's just like I've already adapted AI into my work in certain ways, and I'm exploring it, and I don't fear it in any way. And it's just so weird how the mainstream reads a headline and believes it without any exploration at all. And I've been considering changing my Twitter username, getting rid of the NFT because it's such a bad word. But I don't know, I haven't done it yet.
Well, and I want to think like how much time and research, and I'm not being like smug or anything, but like at least the nice lady I spoke to yesterday at grocery outlet, how much time and research has she done looking up the technology behind NFTs versus somebody like all of us that have been in the space, 5, 6, 7, well, maybe 5 years, but like which one I think anything in life, if you put more research into it, you're probably gonna have a better, like more wider understanding of it. And so I think, yeah, like the normies make these assumptions based on 20 minutes of reading a CNN headline like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, and they're like, oh, Bitcoin's bad for the environment, therefore all NFTs are bad for the environment. It's like, gosh, like ah.
Meanwhile, I walk around Normieland just in my head criticizing all the obsolete things they're doing, and it drives me nuts. But there's nothing I can say about it that they'll ever potentially understand. So I have to just accept that they're living in my opinion, the Stone Ages.
Can we call them muggles?
We can call them whatever the hell we want.
But then it's
Slummers.
like it can't be a battle. It's like how do we kindly educate them and I mean even just wearing that shirt got like a 30-second conversation sparked. I don't know. I
Well, what's cool, I'm always trying every way to get people to join and stuff. And I even like the littlest thing. So obviously, like you mentioned the NFT that I just dropped, I'm collaborating with Buffalo in an awesome Hyperfi event. He's going to DJ an hour set, and I did this painting a couple days ago and recorded the whole thing, and so it's going to be streamed, pre-recorded, the body painting from beginning to end. It's the second time I'm doing this in the metaverse, and I'm painting the model, telling her what's going to happen, and because it's in Hyperfi, it's so easy. All I have to do is send her the link, and she can join and see. And so hopefully she joins. She said she's going to join, but the model will join, and hopefully she'll promote it to her followers and stuff, and maybe they'll join in and see this thing. And what's cool about Hyperfi and everything is you can join as a normie and have no idea it has anything to do with NFTs or MetaMask wallets or any of that jazz. So we'll see how that goes.
That is so valuable. Like I kind of like locked myself out of my MetaMask because I downloaded like another wallet on my computer and I was like having to go back and like reinstall shit, and it was like so frustrating, and it made me realize like, oh my gosh, this is so complicated. How does anybody make it into this into like, this world like so
Yeah.
Shopify
And
doesn't.
so that's what I told her. I was like, she asked, I piqued her interest enough to ask, like, how do I see that? And I said, all you got to do is click the link that I'll send you. Like, you'll be tagged on the post. All you got to do is click the link, come in, say hi. People will be super excited to meet you and talk to you and ask about the experience and stuff. And, I don't see how anybody can join that and not see the potential, when something like that happens and from the comfort of your own home and everything.
Well, yeah, definitely, and especially your stuff is like perfect, like visually, not just visually appealing, obviously, but like it's so tangible, like to see NFTs like that. So, and the theme, and yeah, that's gonna be really cool, and hopefully that'll be enough to make her. Yeah, I don't know. I
It's
think just one conversation at a time, maybe.
it's funny because like I've been body painting so long, almost 20 years now, and I'm honestly starting to get kind of bored with it, but I do enjoy combining my Web3 connections with it. So like in this case, I was just really I had a really good time painting this and thinking of a cool theme that matches buffalo. And so I painted Steph as a cowgirl, like a cyberpunk cowgirl, and captured it in the way that I would capture any of my regular body paint NFTs. And now I'll be able to put this on YouTube on Wednesday too, and sort of also talk about the Web3 part to my normie YouTube subscribers. And I'm realizing that this is maybe something that I need to do more often than not. Um, which keeps me interested in my Web 2 body paint work, because I'm being able to connect it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's huge. Like you you have a big following, and it's maybe there's a lot of negative voices out there for crypto, blockchain, NFT, whatever. There's a lot of FUD and negativity, and maybe it's hearing it from somebody that people are like, oh, I respect this guy, this weird guy, Rustan. Rustan, I respect him, and if he says it's okay, like I don't know, maybe it's okay, like that would kind of be at least how my brain would receive that, is if I hear different things from reputable sources, maybe it just sticks a little bit more in my head.
It's true. I definitely in 2021, 2022, I shared a little bit about my Web3 journey to my subscribers and stuff, and I would get messages of people hating on it the way that the lady at the supermarket hated on it to you. But I also got people that were curious and wanted to try it out, but it was so damn confusing and hard to explain. They were like trying to understand main nets and bridging and all that jazz, and it was just like, man, this is like such a pain in the ass. But what I'm noticing is it's getting easier and easier and easier. I'm noticing like, so this drop that I just made live, as I was making it live, I learned I could connect Manifold to Crossmint, which enables credit card purchases and also purchasing with any currency. Right now, that's in the approval stages, so that's not live yet. So right now, you can only buy with Base. But I'm also going to share how to convert your ETH to Base really easily without even bridging. I need to make a video on that today. But the cool thing is, like, I'm noticing a lot of platforms that are starting to set that up easily to where you can purchase any NFT with credit card, ETH, Base, Optimism, whatever, Polygon, whatever you want without even thinking about it and owning it. And so I think everything is really heading in the right direction to make it easier for the rest of the muggles out there.
I hope so. I just wonder if it's going to be easier for Uncle Sam, at least in our country, to be like, okay, now you purchased that beautiful picture of a like cyberpunk cowgirl, and now it's a security, so pay us the money. Like, I don't know. I'm still cautious of like
Yeah. So far, so good.
connecting
Like
to
I'm super honest on all my taxes, and the last 3 years, I've it hasn't been as scary as I thought it was. It's a pain in the ass to do it all, of course, but um, it hasn't like I haven't been robbed by the government in any way yet.
That's good. That's good. Well, you'll be our canary in the coal mine. So, because if anybody would know, you would know. Like, this is, yeah. I was telling somebody about you, like how, yeah, just because of your nature of work, NFTs are just the perfect, I don't know, fit because of the nudity and people's reluctance to interact with that kind of art necessarily in other places. So
Yeah,
thanks
I've
for being.
honestly like considered like I still attend local gallery shows with my other art like real life artist colleagues and stuff, shows that I've always been a big part of, and I've considered like getting back into it a little bit, but then I like the costs of it all, the commissions, the printing costs, framing costs, all that stuff. It's just not worth it. And like it's like giving your work away almost. It's just not worth it.
That's wild. That's wild. I wish we had more art galleries like in Decentraland. It where we could showcase, kind of some
Yeah,
of that.
we definitely need to bring that back because that was a big draw for a lot of people in 2021.
Yeah, that was like the first thing, the first utility I remember Decentraland having is like there were art galleries everywhere. Um, yeah. But I see somebody has their hand up. Sin, good morning. How are you?
Hey, I was just gonna mention to Rustan, maybe even when the grants program opens up again, try like doing something like the Innkeeper did, but art based. I think that would draw an even bigger crowd since it's gonna, your in real life gallery shows are, draw a crowd.
Oh, like create like I don't know what Innkeeper did. Did he create like a physical
Yeah,
um
it's like a
what?
physical, like they would be DJing at a bar somewhere in Amsterdam while also DJing for us here in Decentraland. And yeah,
Yeah.
I that could be like something you could integrate to like the art show. And who knows, maybe you'll like even get some eyes from like some organizers.
I've actually definitely been trying real hard to do that in real life, partner with NFT screen companies here in Los Angeles and connect with NFT galleries to display these things. It's just it's such a tricky political thing to navigate here. But I do have a local smaller gallery near me that would let me do whatever the hell I wanted, and in which case I would just need to get to purchase screens. But again with physical items, right? I don't want to just buy screens and then have a show and then have like 20 screens that I have to store somewhere. So it's super tricky, but like I'd rather partner with a screen company. Maybe I could rent them or something, for a fee, but it's something I've always wanted to do. It just keeps falling through, but I'm working on it.
There's some crazy 3D screens that I saw at a stereoscopic photography conference 2 years ago, and they're like I can't show you with a video like like cameras can't pick up what it looks like, but it's 3 dimension. It looks like you could just reach out and grab the NFT.
Yeah.
That kind of screen would be awesome. And in Argentina, Tobik took us to a NFT or a crypto bar. Like it was a crypto coffee house, or yeah, like they did pizza and sweets and stuff. So that's what you need to do, Ruston, is open your own coffee store that does like crypto NFT.
Chocolate milk store, not coffee.
Chocolate milk bar. Whatever floats your boat. But seriously, that would be pretty cool. And Zuberant, good morning. I see your hand up. How are you today?
Good morning, everyone. It's Meta DJ. For those of you that don't know, this is my new brand, Zuberant, trying to spread awareness. Happy to be here. I can't stay too long, but first of all, I just want to share just how thrilled I was with the success of the Decentraland Argentina event. That was so cool, and the client was amazing, exactly what we need, bullish on the two suns and everything and above. Also, really happy about the Kid Called Beast development. I am a new beast holder just right before all that took place, and it's been really exciting to see that. So congrats to Rustan and of course Make NFT and everyone else who's been involved. I just wanted to chime in on what you guys were talking about in regards to the skepticism, just the general metaverse adoption. I think the Kid Called Beast is a great start to being able to show interoperability and being able to get the enthusiasts who are really just on the pulse of getting involved in the metaverse. They're almost not even realizing they want it because they want more interaction with their personalities and their art and their avatars and the communities. And the metaverse is such a natural progression for them. But I think the most important thing to consider for a larger mass adoption, what I've been really focusing on, hence the development of Zubrin, is maybe we're going a little too ambitious with how we're presenting the metaverse to everyone. You know, this is a big paradigm shift. We're going from 2D to 3D internet. Whoa, no, but seriously, it's a big evolution. And a lot of times when I at least try to explain to people, even with all my experience, they still can't visualize it. They still can't understand why they'd want to do it. And they almost view the metaverse as this separate entity than reality. So with Zubrin, I've really been adopting the mindset the metaverse is a movement. It is not a single inherent technology. It adopts this technology of blockchain, extended reality, and yes, artificial intelligence, a huge component. And I think we can start to introduce it through Decentraland, but even more importantly, through smaller pieces that lead them to Decentraland. So hence why I launched the Zuberant Live platform, 23/7 AI generated radio station that's constantly going, and it shows you a glimpse of what the metaverse could look like. Maybe you like the music, maybe you like the visuals, maybe you like the AI animated videos, but then you go, wait, so that's what the metaverse could be like? Wow. And then they'll take a step further into it. And I think AI, as I talked about a few weeks ago when I was last on here, is such a major driving point to creating this dynamic metaverse that we aspire to have. So I really been focusing on the pieces leading to the big picture of an experience like Decentraland and educating people, really leading with AI and using that as a DJ, as a creator, as an entrepreneur and visionary. And now starting to see adoption because people go, wait, AI has a piece to this metaverse, this borderless, interconnected 3D internet that allows us to have our own economy and identity using crypto. Last thing I'll say is like, wow, yeah, we're about to hit a new cycle with this halving. I'm more excited about people getting excited about the reality of this technology, all three of these pieces I talked about, and not the hype, not what really will just let them down through a hype and cycle, but the reality of crypto is just a tool. Use it as your currency as a means of exchange to experience this metaverse that is a movement. So happy to be here. Really good to catch up with you guys. And I was just so excited to see everyone in their physical form in Argentina. And I hope next time there's an event like this, I can be there and maybe spinning the vibes. And yeah, guys, it's Meta DJ. So if you're all about what I do, definitely check out Zuberant. Check out what I'm doing with Zuberant Live. I'm really proud of it. I've been spending hundreds of hours building it, and we're just getting started. So let's go DCL fam. I'll hang here a little longer and then I got to roll, but I love what we're talking about here.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. And it definitely is interesting to see how, like, for every single person in this room, there's a different approach that people are taking. There's, like everybody kind of leans back on what they know. They lean back on their area of expertise, and so that's awesome to see what you're doing. And hope you can keep pushing forward there with it. I see some new faces. Welcome, everybody. We are going to keep this space relatively short today, probably close up around 10 o'clock. I see a new speaker come up. I don't think we've heard from Pablo before, but welcome, Pablo.
Hey.
Nice to have somebody new here today.
Hello, Canessa. Yeah, well, I'm Pablo, and I just was listening to Siberant, and I'm completely agree about that point of view of the metaverse being a movement, and it's gonna englobe a bunch of technologies as Web3 and AI and this 3D and AR or augmented reality, which I can get. I can wait to have it, and yeah, we have been building on role game play for that, and I think values and the human side of the things and how we are going to be playing is something that we are missing out on most cases, and it's something that we are focusing on. So if someone likes role games and escape rooms, just you can follow me or Numinia. I would appreciate it. And thank you, Rustan. You know me that I'm around the Vibe Heroes, which is some they are very focused on the avatars and how they are gonna develop on the metaverse. And yeah, super excited to be here. Thank you for the space. And yeah, just wanted to be around. Thank you.
Hey Pablo, very nice to meet you. I'm happy you came up. I think I noticed you followed me a couple weeks ago and I didn't follow back, but I finally got that human to human, uh, uh, interaction with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. You mentioned Vipe. I think most of us are Vipe holders, and that's a I'm loving to see where they take that project. It's pretty cool to see how they're designing it and growing it and bringing their Vipes everywhere. Maybe someday Decentraland. And so I'm looking at your profile here, Metaverse RPG that you're developing. Is that kind of like a gamification of sorts? Do you want to share just a little bit about what your project is?
Yeah, we are gamifying a little bit how organizations will work on the future, but we have like several layers. The first one is just escape rooms kind of approach, which we at the moment we are only on Cyber and Hyperfi. I would love to be on the Decentraland, but it's hard to implement things there. It's a small team. But yeah, the idea is that gamification is part of the metaverse movement, and we learn through playing. And I'm a big believer that we can work better with games mechanics on what we do. So it's a whole system where everyone is going to be able to fork it and make their own version of it. So it's been exciting to build it.
Ruston, I don't know if you're talking. I see your mic off, but I can't hear you. Oh no. I think I'm rugging. I can't hear Ruston.
No, I hear you. I can't hear Rustan.
Okay. All right. You never know. Like Twitter's so fun. Oh, we just chased him away. Ruston. Did you see how fast he got out of the speaker panel and then got out of the space? Let's see. Let's add him back up. It seems like sometimes around like the half-hour mark, like people start cutting out, and that's when the problems start coming up. All right, Ruston, Major Tom, do you hear me now? Crickets, just crickets. Although I could imagine Ruston being the kind of person that would just do that, and like maybe I should do that someday and just mess with my mic, not say anything, just like turn the speaker on and off and let everybody think that I'm rugging. So if that ever happens, you guys are gonna be like, no, she's fine. She's fine. She's not rugging at all. She's just fucking with us. All right, let's try it again. Ruston. Nope. Elon does not want to hear what you have to say.
Rustan, try closing out the app itself completely. Like swipe it up and then reopen it. Usually that happens to me a lot too. That's usually happens when you switch from Wi-Fi to a network carrier if you're on your phone.
Okay, in the meantime, make Good morning. Good morning. How are you? We're in a shortened space today. We're probably going to wrap this up around 10 o'clock, but glad to hear you up here. Glad you could make it. How are you today?
Good morning, fam. Good to catch y'all. Just first of all, want to thank those who came out last night. Super good times. That was really fun. Still trying to fix one last AKCB head, but they all seem to be working. We have one person have an issue that I haven't seen before, so we're gonna look into that. And just want to check in, see if we started thinking a little more about the building, you know, building for us for the CBD, and if any thoughts have come out yet.
Yeah, for the birthday party, I feel like I've been like totally distracted by travel and everything, and then I'm still traveling this weekend, and when I get back, I feel like it's gonna be like, all right, game on. I know that we had somebody talking about making the build for it, and I think we, kind of roughly talked about like it'd be cool to have an emote, it'd be cool to have a wearable. Um, it's a community built thing, so if people want to come in and build something for it, it is open to anybody who wants to. If you want to contribute, last year we had different builders, and so we had two different builds. We didn't have to put everything in one spot, which was kind of cool, because then there was one place you went to go get the wearable, and then you teleported back to the main spot. So yeah, putting it out there, if anybody wants to be a part of that. If you're like, I don't even know how to contribute, I can't do anything, but yeah, hit us up on the CBD Discord. So I'm guessing that this week we'll kind of start like really pushing that forward. I've got ideas of how it could be, but I think it's to be, really valuable. It's got to be community decided, and created beyond that. And we talked a little bit about like having the beasts be a part of it, and I think most people are beast holders at this point, and so it seems like a good fit to have both parties involved.
So a little update, Canessa. Yeah, it's been confirmed. Like, we had a meeting with Kim and Raspy, and he's cool with, like, us just having one big bash. He put it up to us, so yeah. Make if in any way, any like beasts that want to contribute, like from the Discord or anything, that want to contribute like assets or something like that, that we could like throw into the land, or even an idea could be like throw in some beast NPCs, like, but yeah, I personally haven't pushed anything forward on that. I yeah, I've been focused on other things.
Yeah, and it's like I know our 2 year was, gosh, almost a month ago, but that's that's how life is. I mean, we could have pushed something and celebrated like on the date, but it wouldn't have been nearly as cool. And I think we just got to take life as it comes. And if we celebrate our birthday like a month after it happened, that's okay. Like there's little kids I know that celebrate their birthday after the fact. And I mean, the important thing is that if people want to contribute, that they feel like they can. That's yeah, it's not about the date, it's about how we get there. And yeah, and like
What?
I feel like I can't contribute much other than a build or maybe an emote. So it's like I can't, if y'all want me to make a wearable, it's gonna be like fugly as hell. But yeah.
Well, you guys were away. I mean, 40% of the builders were probably away in Argentina, so it's not like there's any pressure. I just want to know if there were any more thoughts in here, and just yeah, we're happy to see you back. We miss you as much as we love full-time you. We need a little Canessa in our in our pink hearts.
Well, sin has like carried me. I'm like, oh, I can't make it. I can't make it. And it's just like I counted up. I put on 16,000 miles this month, or like last in like 3 weeks, and And I was home like in 23 days. I was home for like 70 hours. It was crazy, but like totally just. I've never traveled out of the country, so I'm kind of like, well, I'm definitely a country mouse, and so to go to the city and go to like do these big things, like get on a big airplane, it's, I don't know, like it's a big deal to me, and so I've just been just living in the moment and like, it's good. It's made me miss Decentraland. It's made me like, okay, now I know kind of more what I want to build. I know like I want to see this cool stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It's cool. Like I've kind of been thinking about returning to a project that I wanted to do a long time ago that I didn't have the skills to do. And now it's like so easy because I have all the skills. So it's we should all like return to a project that we started like a year or two ago and try to do it again. And we'd probably all be like, whoa, I didn't even realize how far I've come in this space just by learning like little things, small things one at a time.
Would you consider yourself maybe a country mute?
I am a country mute. Like I'm, yeah, like, oh my gosh, when I saw the mountains and the wilderness after being in Buenos Aires for like 2 weeks, I was like, okay, drop me right there. I will come out of the wilderness in 2 years with like a log cabin that I built from hand and wearing buckskin that I skunned the moose and killed by, okay. So like I am a survivalist. Yes, a weirdo. I was raised in the woods by parents that were kind of like, anyway, I digress. It felt so good to see woods, to see mountains. I had to go out and I had to go last week. I had to go out into the mountains and just sit. And I didn't make any Twitter posts. Like, not all my life is public, but like it just felt so good to be away from like Buenos Aires is a city, guys. Like, I mean, I thought Seattle was a city or LA or Miami, like Buenos Aires, when I took off and I'm like, holy shit, all I can see are lights, like as far as I can see, and everything is city, like because I like after the summit, I stayed there with friends that are non-DCL related and I just lived with them. So like they live in an apartment, like I went and picked up their kid with them after school, like got to see the armed guards, got to, walk through like it's a whole different world than even the we were shown from the summit. Like that the summit was very protected and very um a very nice neighborhood. And so anyway, to answer your question, you know, I'm put me in the woods. I belong in the woods. That's what I should make is a game in Decentraland, a survivalist game. You have to go in and you have to well, they had like the chopping and hunting and gathering Exodus or like Dice Masters had that, right? Where you had to go get resources. But I should do it on like the uh shit hits the fan. Like you have to survive in the woods. How many pounds of rice do you have saved up in case there's a problem with the grid going down? Oh, okay. I digress, Mike. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for the games. What was the game called? The old, what was the Oregon Trail? We could make an Oregon Trail.
Nobody knows the magic. I mean, if you're that's how I can tell how old people are. Like there was somebody, I won't name their name, but they told me like I was asking them questions about Oregon Trail and they're like they knew details that I didn't know. So I was like, all right, now I know how old you are because I know that you're a little bit older than me because you remember that detail. But yeah, Oregon Trail, that would be so cool. What if we had that where you have to travel on like stateless road in your oxen and then Ma dies of like dysentery and Pa dies of cholera. And then you have to do a river fjord.
Or even better, I think my favorite personally, if we want to do old games, where in the world is Carmen San Diego? Let's go. That
Oh, that's
we
the
could make a detective game in Decentraland.
yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Like I was raised on that. I loved Carmen Sandiego, the real one, where she was the villain. Now they've pacified it where she's like a good guy. I'm like, no, she's a villain.
Okay.
They're
World. I'm outing myself to be ancient. Mew, save us.
there was actually a burlesque show at the event where I'm at where like there was a nice lady dressed up like Carmen Sandiego, and then in the end she had Waldo pasties when she took off all her red clothes, and so it was like it kind of like it didn't ruin it for me forever, but I was like I finally found Waldo. Like it was like something only 80s child could appreciate. Yeah. And on that note, I will probably wrap up because I am on the road and must go cosplay. I'm at a cosplay event this weekend, so I will do my best to make it back home safe. Maybe next week we'll have a back to our regular scheduled space. But yeah, so if anybody has any closing concepts, closing ideas, closing thoughts, feel free to share them and we'll let everybody go enjoy their Saturday.
Thank you. Love you all. Bye.
Thank you so much for being here. I want to know more about your project and maybe we can, chat, meet up in Hyperfi or wherever. And I think definitely there's always something to learn and to appreciate from each other's realms. So yeah, thank you so much for coming up today. And make any closing thoughts?
I'm gonna just see if anybody would like. I'll start looking into who might be able to help us. There's also thinking since they're making a game, maybe we could repurpose some of their assets to make it a little easier on all things parties or pieces that might help us out without putting on extra load or stress. We'll get back to what's possible. Obviously, I just ask people to do stuff, so I'll just start finding out what's possible.
Yeah, awesome. And I think we should keep like I think maybe we should consider two events like the appetizer, CBD, and then continue to talk about like some of the bigger picture stuff that we talked about, because I feel like there's a lot to there's a my brain is, since we talked last week, my brain's of course gone into the stratosphere, and I'm like we could do this, we could do this, we could do this. So definitely keeping the conversation going.
Well, have a fantastic weekend, my D-Cell friends. You just enjoy that rep, and catch y'all on the flip.
Thank you. And my lovely co-host Sin, any closing thoughts?
Thank you for being here, everyone. Take care.
Yeah, thank you everybody. Have a wonderful day. Let's see. Today, what do we have coming up? I think the ABC, I'm sorry I'm out of it, but I think the ABC Decentraland is still doing their tours later this afternoon in is it in 7 hours? And that's Odd Job, Billy T Coin, and I don't know if CK is doing it currently. I know CK's doing some crazy big life move stuff, so they might not be with them. So yeah, if anybody, sorry if they're not doing it and I'm not aware. And yeah, and then let's see, what else do we have going on tomorrow? Is it Stony Eye later in the day? I have to check. We need an event schedule, but yeah, hopefully everybody can make it for all of the good things coming up, and take care of yourself and each other, and we will see you next week. Thanks for everybody for being here. Have a good day.